Hi, this is Chris, and welcome to the first installment of our 29-part China Cut series, Better Know a Chinese Province, where we look into each Chinese province to see what fuels them forward. I'm guessing it's baijiu for the most part. This episode, we're looking at Shaanxi Province, the Fight'n Qins. Deng, let's show them Shaanxi. Shaanxi is located in north-central China and was established as a province in 1436 under the Yingzong Emperor. And although its borders have changed over the centuries, its name has remained largely the same. Unfortunately, Shaanxi suffers from a name that is spelled identically in English to its neighboring province, Shaanxi. In Chinese they are written differently, but in English they are spelled exactly the same. To distinguish them, we write Shaanxi with two A's to represent the low tone, unlike those high-tone coal mining copycats in Shaanxi. What's that, Deng? Our next episode's on Shaanxi. The important thing to remember is Shaanxi and Shaanxi are two different provinces that are next to each other. Shaanxi is the best because it's to the west, and Shaanxi is to the east because it's the least, even though Shaanxi means the mountains to the west. They did this on purpose to confuse you. I say we have them fight to the death for the name. There can only be one. Shaanxi is also known as Qin, which was the name of the first Chinese empire, which began in Shaanxi. However, provincial license plates also use the abbreviated term Xi'an, because who needs just one abbreviation? Shaanxi is a culturally and geographically diverse province compared to many others in China, and it is generally divided into three very distinct regions, often referred to as the three Qins: Larry, Curly, and Mo. And the north is the lowest plateau, full of rolling hills of soft yellowish soil that supplies the Yellow River with a lot of sediment that makes it yellow. The key word here is yellow. Throughout much of Chinese history, this region had been an unstable frontier of subsistence farming bordering the lands of nomads, leaving them subject to periodic raids. The region is also known for the city of Yan'an and its role in modern Chinese history as a guerrilla base for the Chinese Communist Party during the Second World War. Now it is the center of a thriving red tourism industry. The central part of Shaanxi, most likely the Mo in this triad, is the core of the province, where most of the population lives. This part is often referred to as Guanzhong, or the land between the mountain passes. It's an agriculturally rich plain centered on the Wei River, surrounded by mountains, making the place only accessible through a handful of crucial mountain passes, which is why it has been known as Guanzhong. Interestingly enough, the name Shaanxi means Western Narrows, referring to the narrow mountain passes in Xi'an County people had to pass through to get into Shaanxi. The Guanzhong region has played a crucial role in Chinese history as the cradle of many Chinese empires, including the first, the Qin, all the way up until the Tang. To the south of the sheer wall face of the Qinling Mountains is the region called Hanzhong, a lush, wild, mountainous, and sparsely inhabited area, except a few wide valleys along the Han River, hence its name, which means between the Han River. The Hanzhong region has a long history of being a place of rugged mountain frontiersmen who, although certainly culturally and politically a part of China, were also very independent and did not like interference from outsiders. Think of it kind of like West Virginia, only without the coal, or Oregon minus the hipsters. Over 38 million people live in Shaanxi, with its capital located in the ancient city of Xi'an, where about a quarter of the province's population, or 8 million people, reside. That's about the same as New York City, but Frank Sinatra never wrote a song for it. Or did he? Yeah, that's right. For you history buffs out there, Xi'an is the place to be. The city has been known by many different names throughout history, such as Xianyang and Chang'an, where it was the capital for many imperial dynasties, including the Qin, the Han, and the Tang. Shaanxi province has been milking that sweet, sweet history for tourism ever since. During the Tang dynasty, Chang'an was the largest city in the world for several centuries. But after the fall of the Tang in 906, Chang'an was destroyed and no other imperial capitals were established in the region since then. Eventually this city was rebuilt as Xi'an, and although not an imperial capital, it was still an important administrative and commercial hub for much of northwest China. Xi'an used to be home to the basketball team, the Shaanxi Qilins, and the soccer team, the Shaanxi Chanba. But both teams moved in 2012, leaving the province without any major national sports teams. Get your act together, Xi'an. As an ancient capital, the city is known for many historical sites, such as the remarkably well-preserved city walls and bell tower, the Forest of Steles, which is an outdoor museum of imperial edicts carved in stone that date back to the Tang Dynasty. And then there's this little thing on the outskirts of town called the Terracotta Warriors and Mausoleum of the First Emperor. Never heard of it. So apparently there is an army of life-size statues of soldiers protecting the tomb of Qin Shi Huang until he rises from the dead as a mummy and reconquers the world. What's that? The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor wasn't a historical documentary? The Shaanxi Provincial History Museum in Xi'an ranks among China's best, attracting millions of visitors each year with exhibits of ancient artifacts, terracotta warriors, Tang Dynasty murals of polo games, and the oldest Where's Waldo picture in history. He really wasn't trying back then. Xi'an is also home to some of China's greatest institutions of higher education, including our partner university, Xi'an Jiaotong University, the best of the Jiaotong universities. And I'm not just saying that because they're our partners. There's also Northwest University, Shaanxi Normal University, and Northwest Polytech University. Other major cities in Shaanxi include Weinan, Xianyang, and Lintong, all satellite cities of Xi'an in the greater metropolitan area. Baoji to the west, further upstream along the Wei River, Hanzhong and Ankang in the Hanzhong River Valley, and the dusty city of Yulin, a coal mining town known for cliffside dwellings and the largest fortress along the Great Wall. With such a large population and diverse geography, just who do you think has the yellow lowest rocks to govern such a province? None other than Shandong native Governor Hu Heping, a hydraulic engineer, professor, and former president of Tsinghua University. To learn more about Shaanxi, I recently sat down with come on, this is a YouTube channel. Like, I can get the governor to show up here. But there you go, Hu Heping, that's the governor. Shaanxi is ethnically a majority Han province, making up 99.5% of the population. But there is a particularly large population of Hui Chinese Muslims in major cities like Xi'an and the northwest corner of the province. The Hui have played an important role in the province's history and cuisine. In particular is the famous dish flatbread-soaked lamb stew, or yang rou pao mo, a light lamb noodle soup with flatbread pieces torn to shreds in the soup. Kind of like saltine crackers in a chicken noodle soup, only lamb. You might also see on the streets of Shaanxi signs for the spicy broad noodle dish biang biang noodles. Wait, that's actually how the character's written, really? Okay, well, apparently that's actually a word, and I feel bad for the person who actually has to write that by hand. The most famous dish in Shaanxi has to be the succulent, meaty, savory, juicy Roujiamo, or Chinese hamburger, made from minced pork boiled in a soup of 20 different spices, then pinched in a mo, or flatbread. That's what Roujiamo means, pork pinched in flatbread. You can kind of think of it as the American version of the Sloppy Joe, or the Sloppy Joe is the American version of the Roujiamo, since it's older. The main dialect of Shaanxi is Mandarin, or Putonghua, of the Central Plains variety. There are also some speakers of the southwestern Mandarin subdialect group in the Hanzhong region, and a significant number of speakers of the Jin dialect in the lowest plateau region. Notable people from Shaanxi include pretty much every emperor from the Qin to the Tang Dynasty, everyone's favorite bald-headed Chinese film director, Zhang Yimou. Sorry, Geyo, you'll always be number 2. Chinese country rock music sensation and street performer idol Xu Wei, writer of the award-winning novel White Deer Plain Chen Zhongshi, and the Big Daddy himself, President Xi Jinping, claims Shaanxi as his home province, even though he was actually born in Beijing out of the ambitious dreams of his parents. True story, kids. That's where babies come from. The main national highways that cross the province include the G5, G30, G40, G65, and G70, all of which intersect in the main beltway of Xi'an, which keeps any traffic from moving forward. Shaanxi is also bisected by the Longhai Railroad artery, a major transportation link that connects East and West China, as well as several major branch railroads across the province. Xi'an also has direct high-speed passenger rail services capable of reaching 300 kilometers per hour to major cities like Beijing, Urumqi, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. Shaanxi has a GDP of 1.9 trillion yuan, or 300 billion US dollars, with a real economic growth rate of 7.6%. Nearly a third of Shaanxi's economic output comes from Xi'an. Compared nationally, Shaanxi is in the middle of the pack, ranking 13th in GDP per capita at 47,630 RMB, or 7,680 US dollars. The energy industry is a major force in northern Shaanxi, where the region is experiencing a boom in oil, natural gas, and coal mining. Provincial reserves rank third in the country, bringing prosperity at a breakneck speed to a region that has historically been impoverished. The research and development industry has also taken off in the last decade, centered on several institutions of higher learning and a number of provincially sponsored high-tech parks, with particular strengths in aerospace technology and software engineering. Tourism is another juggernaut in the Shaanxi economy, with numerous sites of historical significance attracting 52 million domestic and international visitors in 2010 and raking in over 40 billion yuan annually. Overall, Shaanxi has a strong and healthy economy that makes it a powerhouse in the northwestern region of China. So that, folks, is the province of Shaanxi. So nice that they put the A in there twice. Deng, let's put Shaanxi up on the board. Coming up next week is Shaanxi. Maybe we'll hold off on that. Why don't we go alphabetically from now on? So next time we'll be looking at Anhui. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you like what you saw here, click and give us a like or subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the doobly-doo below. China Cuts is produced by the Confucius Institute at the University of Nebraska and is made with the help of these fine people you see here. Special thanks for support from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and our partners Xi'an Jiaotong University. I'm Chris, and see you next time. 再见.